In a single moment, I made a choice that changed everything. A leap of faith, believing in the possibility of something beautiful, something real. Now, standing here with no way to turn back, I'm overwhelmed by the emotions that come with it. Love, uncertainty, but above all, an unshakable conviction that it was worth it. When I decided to take that huge leap, I wasn't just stepping into the unknown. I was stepping into you. There's no turning back now, and that truth fills me with a mixture of awe and trepidation. But most of all, I feel deeply connected to everything that's unfolding. I could have stayed where it was safe, where I knew the outcome. But I chose to take that leap for you, for us. Now, as I look forward with no way back, all I can feel is the weight of what we've built and the excitement of what's to come. Every step I took toward you was a risk, a leap beyond what I thought I could handle. Now, with no turning back, I am left with this undeniable feeling, an intense mix of fear, hope, and a heart that's deeply rooted in what we have. There's something magical about the moment when you decide to jump without knowing what awaits. I did that for you, for us. And now, as I stand at the edge with no way to go back, I am filled with a profound sense of purpose, even as my heart races with the uncertainty of it all. Leaping into the unknown for you wasn't just an act of bravery, it was an act of love. Now, with no chance to turn back, I find myself wrestling with the intensity of my emotions, knowing that what we have is something worth every bit of fear I might feel. The leap was more than a choice. It was a declaration of my trust in us. Now, as I look ahead, I'm filled with the bittersweet realization that there's no turning back. But with every step forward, my heart feels more at home than ever before. In that moment, when I made the decision to leap for you, I was saying yes to everything that comes with it, the risks, the unknowns, and the beautiful possibility of it all. And now, standing in this new reality, I can't help but feel both exhilarated and terrified, but most of all, thankful. I took a leap because I believed in us, in what we could be. And now, with no way back, I am facing the rawness of my emotions. Vulnerable, unsure, but so deeply committed to this path we've chosen together. The leap was my promise to you, my declaration that I was all in. And now, as I find myself on this path with no turning back, I'm overwhelmed by the gravity of what we're creating, full of hope, but also carrying the weight of every choice that brought me here. There's no turning back from what I've chosen for us, but the feelings of uncertainty and excitement are wrapped in the belief that this leap, though daunting, is one I would take again and again because it's you. I don't know what the future holds, but I know that I made this leap for something I believe in, something that feels worth the risk. And though I can't go back, I find solace in the thought that I'm moving forward with you side by side. Leaping for you wasn't easy, but I did it with my heart wide open. Now, as I stand in this new chapter, the fear and excitement I feel are reminders that I made the right choice. There's no going back, but I wouldn't want to. The decision to leap was mine, but it wasn't a solitary one. Every moment since has been a shared experience, one that brings both fear and hope in equal measure. Now, with no chance of retreat, all I feel is a deep connection to the journey we're on together. I took that leap for you, for us, and now I stand in a place where I can't turn back. But that's okay, because each step forward feels like a step closer to the life we're building together, filled with challenges and joy alike. There's a certain kind of clarity that comes when you've made a choice so big, there's no turning back. I took that leap for you, and now I find myself balancing between excitement and fear, but overwhelmingly a deep sense of fulfillment. With every leap, there's a moment of doubt, a question of whether you've made the right choice. But now that I'm here, with no way to go back, I feel only a deep conviction that this was the only way forward. For you, for us. I could have stayed in the comfort of the familiar, but I took that leap for something greater, something more meaningful. And now, with no way back, I feel a mixture of vulnerability and excitement, knowing that what we're creating is worth every risk. When I jumped, it was for a reason, because I believed in us. There's no turning back now, and as I reflect on the journey, all I can feel is a sense of purpose. The leap was just the beginning, and now I'm ready for whatever comes next. Making the leap wasn't easy. It took every ounce of courage I had. But now that I've made it, there's no turning back. And while the uncertainty is still there, it's overshadowed by the belief that this was the right choice, the only choice. Every leap I've taken in my life has been a step toward something greater, but this one, for you, is the most significant. Now, as I stand here with no way to turn back, I feel a deep sense of both fear and anticipation. But above all, I feel gratitude. There's something powerful about jumping into the unknown with no plan, no map. I took that leap for you, and now that I'm here, there's no turning back. But as I look forward, I feel a sense of peace, knowing that this was meant to be. I took a leap of faith for you, and though I can't turn back, I feel an overwhelming sense of relief. There's something so beautiful in knowing that no matter what happens, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, with you. The leap was more than just an action, it was a shift in everything I thought I knew about love and trust. And now, with no way back, I'm finding myself overwhelmed by the beauty of this moment, knowing that I wouldn't have it any other way. I've crossed a threshold I can't go back from, and while that realization brings with it a whirlwind of emotions, there's also a sense of clarity. I took the leap because I believed in this, believed in us, and there's no going back now. I chose to leap, and now I stand in a place where I can't turn back. But rather than feeling regret, I'm filled with anticipation. The journey ahead may be uncertain, but one thing is clear. It's ours to navigate together. It wasn't just a leap, it was a commitment, an unspoken promise. And now, as I stand here with no way to go back, all I feel is the weight of that promise, but also a deep sense of peace, knowing that this is the path I was meant to take. The leap wasn't a mistake, though it felt like one at the time. Now, with no way to return to the past, I see it for what it truly is, an act of courage, one that fills me with both excitement and a deep sense of responsibility. There's no turning back now, and as I reflect on the leap I took, I realize that it wasn't about the fear or uncertainty. It was about trusting what lies ahead. And in doing so, I've opened myself to a future that is bright and full of possibility. When I leapt, I did so without knowing exactly what would happen. But now, as I stand here, the only thing I know for sure is that there's no turning back. And that's okay, because this journey is worth every ounce of uncertainty. I jumped because I believed in the potential for something beautiful, something real. And now that I've taken that step, there's no turning back. But in my heart, I know that the leap was the beginning of something extraordinary. The leap wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Now, with no way to go back, I'm filled with a sense of both excitement and fear. But most of all, I feel proud of the decision I made and the journey that lies ahead. When I made the leap, I didn't know what the future would hold, but I did it anyway, for us. And now that I'm here, I can't help but feel a deep sense of peace, knowing that this is exactly where I'm meant to be. There's something transformative about the leap I took. It wasn't just about the act itself. It was about the willingness to step into the unknown, with no guarantee of what would happen. And now, with no way back, I feel a sense of excitement and purpose. Taking that leap for you wasn't just an act of bravery, it was an act of trust. And now, as I look ahead, there's no turning back. But I find myself filled with hope, knowing that every step forward is a step closer to the future we're building. I couldn't have predicted the journey ahead when I took that leap. But now, with no chance of returning, I feel a sense of gratitude for the courage it took to make this choice. And as I move forward, all I see is possibility. The leap wasn't a decision I made lightly, but now that I've taken it, I realize there's no way to go back. And while that brings its own set of challenges, I also feel deeply connected to what lies ahead. It's the only way forward, and I'm ready for it. Every leap I've taken has led me here, to this moment with you, and now that there's no turning back, I feel a deep sense of gratitude for the journey, no matter how uncertain or terrifying it might seem. I didn't know what would happen when I took that leap, but now that I'm here, with no way to go back, I feel a sense of peace in knowing that this was the right choice. It's the only choice that matters. I leapt into this with both eyes wide open, knowing that there would be no going back. But in doing so, I found a sense of clarity, a purpose that drives me forward. There's no retreat, only forward momentum.